All right, I'm going to try to keep this really concise and short. Now, I'll link two articles down in the description of Daniel Vavra's interview. There's two parts to this interview. There's a public-facing part, and then there's a behind-the-paywall part. Bounding into Comics and Fandom Pulse have both paid for the beyond the paywall part, which will give us our best bit of information. What Daniel Vavra does in this interview is he's basically running damage control in setting a narrative. He didn't want to make Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 woke, guys. He was afraid of the journalists. He was afraid of the oversensitive left. He was afraid people wouldn't want to work with him. But it wasn't THQ Nordic's part. They had nothing to do with it. They remained hands off, but they were happy with what he was doing. It's kind of funny you're not blaming your bosses for this, but okay. So he sets his whole narrative. It's the left to blame. He's not a. And how they had him afraid because he didn't want to be considered a Trump supporter. Then it goes into how he's really a centrist. He doesn't like either side, guys. He's neutral, guys. So you guys that are anti-woke, don't attack me, guys. Woke, the left, don't attack me, guys. Like I'm on neither side, so neither side, one of you guys has to, attack me. It basically is what he's saying. And then in the whole interview, you get like some really good quotes. Like, well, maybe that helped us not to be called sexist when talking about adding homosexuality to his game. Yeah, and it also said he wanted to make a game that was historically accurate and how they worked on the game, and that it was their product. But then he says stuff like this, like he reveals that he's a disingenuous liar, and he really can't get his story straight because you read through the whole stuff, you will notice his story's kind of changed, right? So he wanted to make a neutral game. He just wanted to make a game. It was their product, their work. They didn't add stuff in there that shouldn't have been in there. But we totally add homosexuality because we don't want to call sexist. He's like saying the quiet part out loud. And one of the best parts of this interview, he straight up says that he could not finish playing The Last of Us 2 because there was a political sermon near the beginning of the game. The first pub, they started giving him a sermon. And he's like, I can't play this game. I can't finish this game. Yeah, he put that in his game. But at the beyond the paywall, this is where the best part comes in. They admit to self-censoring. And then they drop this line proving every critic was right and they were lying when they were defending this game. We verified everything with a ton of different consultants to make sure that no one will complain, that we portray anyone differently than it should be. No, not that it was historically accurate, but how it culturally should be, guys. For every religion, for every minority, for every group of people, we had consultants we sent our script to, and we asked them whether we should have something wrong in the script, and the things they said to us were cool. In the end, the game is better thanks to that, as they told us what to remove. All this information is really interesting, but you have to ask yourself a question though. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 sold millions of copies. Some of us who were not happy with the level of wokeness in this game did not like that. I certainly didn't, but I have to face reality. Too many people are willing to tolerate this stuff, were willing to embrace this stuff. It made hundreds of millions of dollars. Hell, by now it might have made $1 billion in profit. Not period, just in profit because they had a really low budget, or so they claim. But I mean, as you can see, this guy's a liar. So who's to say how much profit it's made? But by now, it surely has made a ton of profit. I can't even deny. Like, there is no conceivable way I can tell you this game did not make a profit. So this man should be coming out smug, arrogant, conceited. He won. He beat the anti-woke. The anti-woke attacks against him helped the left defend his game, which helped it propel a ton of sales. And then you had the contrarians. You had the quote-unquote anti-woke. You had the infiltrator anti-wokes. They all defended the game, and it sold so well. So why isn't he acting arrogant and conceited? The fact that he's coming in and basically doing damage control tells us a lot. Like between all the words, between everything he said, he's not gloating. He won. He should be gloating, but he's not. So what could be happening? Well, the world changed. That's what happened. Trump was not predicted to win. He was predicted to lose. And no one could have foreseen him and Doge gutting the government money laundering. Hell, I knew a lot about conspiracies and corruption, and I didn't even know it was that bad. So a lot of us learned it was that bad. A lot of us learned that it was U.S. aid and the Treasury Department financing this cultural Marxism across the entire planet. And that's gone. Investors no longer want to support DEI and ESG. And maybe the coup de grace is Saudi Arabia, the second top investor in THQ Nordic, behind the CEO, wants to be buddy-buddy with Trump. And what do you have with Vavra? You have a walking liability. Actually, he's worse than a walking liability. He is the perfect head to offer up. One of the rules of powers is to always offer up a head. Someone has to be blamed, and it's not going to be you. Their next game is like, what, 5 years out? 4 years out? Maybe 3 years at best. Like, if this studio is really expedient and actually have talented people, they'll have a game out. But they have a reputational problem. We already see how bad it is today. I mean, it sold millions, but, I mean, in 3-5 years, oh, yeah, like, the climate around Europe and America is going to be so radically different than it is even today when this stuff is not accepted, that their next game's going to come out and you're going to, like, hell, the journalists, because the left might, like, get a landslide defeat in the midterms, and they might suffer a bunch of political defeats in elections in Europe. So they might turn around and decide to reshape their platform. So even they might not be supporting this nonsense anymore. So in 5 years, they go to advertise the next game, right? What are they going to run into? Oh, hey, the studio that had all those consultants, the studio who made all that wokeness, that pushed homosexuality, who pushed forced diversity, who did all that ESG stuff, who insulted the customers. How are you supposed to sell a game from a studio with that reputation in 3 to 5 years? But wait. What if the studio didn't have that reputation? What if we fire Vavra and pin everything on him? No. Warhorse didn't want to make a woke game. Vavra wanted to make a woke game for his own personal biases. No, it wasn't Warhorse that hired all those consultants. It was Vavra. Because he even says in the article, oh no, THQ Nordic didn't have anything to do with it. So it's not THQ Nordic's fault. So they don't have to, run defense themselves. Every aspect of this failure in PR and perception can be blamed on Vavra. And if you just get rid of Vavra, when you go to show the next game, if everything's been blamed on Vavra, you show a game that doesn't have any perceived ESG, DEI, wokeness, and all you have to do is like have some select leaks, right? Just tell content creators like, hey, Vavra was fired because he was the woke one, and the studio did not like it. Like he was like miserable to work for. All the usual rumors you hear. And now he's gone, and now they're going to focus on making games for gamers because that's what they really want to do, because Warhorse Studios is games for gamers. They're like veterans of the industry. They want to make games for gamers, or whatever slogan you're going to hear in a lot of content creators. That's going to be being all the controlled leaks, right? And then you could pay some content creators, because some content creators straight up just take bribes, right? Pay them and have them push the message. Well, Vavra's gone, guys. So we could give the game a chance. And even if that is not overtly pushed as the message, it could be implied. Oh, hey, they had a change of leadership. The new leadership ain't woke. They just want to make games for gamers. Guys, they're one of us again, guys. Look at the game footage. Do you see any of that DEI, ESG stuff, guys? Do you see any of that wokeness stuff, guys? If they get rid of Vavra, they solve nigh all the problems. Because any other problem beyond that can be taken care of quietly. You can just do it behind the scenes. Get rid of Vavra, pin it all on him. He's the head. Like, it was all Vavra's fault. And then quietly fix any other problems in the studio, quietly fix any other problem in any of their studios. Easy, right? And then boom, you don't have a problem in 3 to 5 years. Even better, guys, Kingdom Come Deliverance 3, or maybe they won't call it Kingdom Come Deliverance, right? Because the Kingdom Come Deliverance brand is like, kind of tainted. So like whatever Kingdom Come Deliverance 3 is going to be, like it could be like they'll give it a new name. They might give it a new name. Whatever's going to be called. They might give it a new name, or maybe they'll just call Kingdom Come Deliverance 3. It's a return to form, guys. It's Warhorse returning to their glory. I mean, come on. We've all seen the media repeat these lines. Do you think that can't happen in 3 to 5 years to save their reputation? All they have to do is get rid of Vavra. And I think Vavra knows this because Vavra went out and ran his mouth. Vavra made himself the problem. Vavra made himself the target and the most opportune head to get rid of. And then what's going to happen to Vavra? Who's going to want to hire Vavra? He's a liability. He attacked gamers. Who's going to want to work with him? So I think right now there's probably some internal politics going down behind the scenes, and Vavra's concerned. But you let me know what you think. And then hit the like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.